Greetings from Michigan, my scattered brothers and sisters in the Lord. Trust you know the Lord is with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know that His presence with you is more than enough for whatever you might face today. This is my good friend Three Ball, and his sense of humor is a little bit flaky, but when I'm in Michigan in the wintertime, this is who I roll with. And we have a good time on these trails of Michigan. Kind of going back to as we were talking about Elisha a couple weeks ago, and he visited the family in Shunem, and the woman there built him a room on the top of her house, and Elisha learned that she was barren, that she hadn't had any children, and her husband was old, and he's wondering what he can do for her, and he ends up announcing to her that this time next year she'll give birth to a child, birth to a son. And she has hope for this, and she's given up hope, and she doesn't want Elisha to get her hopes up. And he says, no, this time next year you'll be standing here in front of me with a son in your arms. And sure enough, that happens. A year later, she's there, Elisha is visiting, and she has given birth to a son. A little bit of time passes, and now the son's a little bit older, and he goes out to the field to work with his dad. And his head starts hurting, and he says, my head, and his dad sends him back home, and he goes back home, and he's sitting on his mom's lap, and he dies. And just tragic. The woman takes her son, now dead, and takes him upstairs and lays him on Elisha's bed that she had put there. And then she sends word to her husband that she needs to go see Elisha. She doesn't say anything about what's happened to her son, just says everything is well. And so she goes, and she's getting close to Elisha. Elisha sees her coming, wonders what's going on. He sends his servant, is everything okay? Servant comes back, she says everything's okay, but then the woman gets there. And the Shunammite woman grabs hold of Elisha's ankles, his feet, and just throws herself before him. And he can't figure out what's wrong. The Lord's kind of hidden it from him. And so then she begins to complain to Elisha, why did you give me a son? I told you not to get my hopes up. Why did you do this? She is just heartbroken at the loss of her son. Elisha immediately, now he knows what's going on, that her son has died. And he sends Gehazi, his servant there, to put his staff on top of the son's body over his face, thinking that maybe that will bring him to life, and it doesn't. And the widow's not, or she's not a widow, but the mother is not going anywhere until Elisha goes with her. And so he goes, and he enters the room where the boy is at, and he's laying there, a corpse on the bed. And Elisha stretches himself out over the boy, and warmth transfers from Elisha to the boy, but still, he's not breathing. He hasn't come back to life yet. And Elisha gets up and paces back and forth, and then he does it again. And this time the boy sneezes 7 times. Life, breath is restored to him, and full life given to him. And so then Elisha gives the boy back to his mom. And I don't know really everything to do with that, but we've been talking about this in terms of the son to the woman is kind of like giving her a future, life beyond. That if she's barren and her husband dies and she dies, they're just forgotten. Their names are erased. No ongoing life to be remembered by. And the gift of a son to her is someone who will take care of her, but more than that, who will carry on the name of the family, who will kind of give them a future, if you will, even after they pass. And so one way we could look at this is that the woman's son, death snatched the son from her. And that was heartbreaking for lots of reasons. One, the love that she had for her son, but also in terms of everything her son meant to her. In terms of her future, the future of her family, carrying the name forward. It's like her future was snatched away from her. And yet, she went to the right place. She went to Elisha. And Elisha prayed, and we see that her future, her son, is given back to her. Her future restored. And so I'm just thinking about that. Sometimes for us, it's like our futures get snatched away. We don't know why they get snatched away, but everything that we were hoping, everything that we were planning, everything that we were dreaming, sometimes it just gets snatched away. It might be by death, it might be by something else. We need to make sure that when that happens, we go to the Lord. because truly the Lord is the one who has our future. And the Lord will restore our future, whether that be ultimately resurrection, you talk about a future, or in this life as well. When it seems like everything has been snatched away, the Lord is the one who can restore purpose to us, who can restore life to us, who restores a future to us. And with that future, we have the hope of resurrection. So wherever you find yourself scattered today, just realize that no matter how much has been snatched away, the Lord has a future for you. God bless. Have a great day. All right, let's roll on.